there, I'm E.H. Howard, and this is the video on building your toolbox. And that's kind of a funny saying. I'm sure people are like, what do you mean a toolbox? What are you talking about here? And that's a great question. Now, when I was in art school and when I taught, one of the things that I taught everybody and learned was that you have a toolbox, all right? Whether, kind of like the toolbox that you have, whether you go fishing or in your garage, if you're an artist or a designer, you might have a toolbox full of brushes and paints. You've got things that are very important to you that you need at a moment's notice. You can pull them out and use them to solve any problem that you're facing, sort of like a Swiss Army knife kind of idea, all right? Now, everything that you learn, everything you do, all the experiences in your life go into that toolbox. It's all back in there so that at some point in some time, you can pull them out and be like, I don't know a lot about that, but I have heard about it somewhere before and at least have a passing knowledge, all right? Now, why is that important? Okay, let me back up and say, what do I mean about putting things in your toolbox? And that's the important part. Now, one of the challenges that I always had with students, and I have with clients and consumers, and I have with getting other people to sort of, when I talk to other business owners, is getting them to understand that they need to get out, all right? You need to explore more than just what you do every day. And I know as a self-employed business, as a small business or a home business, that kind of, it is very hard to find time in the day for something new, all right? I get it. I totally understand. And I'm not asking you to go rock climbing or jump off of a cliff or skydive or anything like that. That's not the point of what we're talking about. The point of what we're talking about is any new experiences, all right? And the thing I used to tell students all the time was, if you don't know about a particular type of music, all right, go out and learn about it. Maybe you listen to pop music. We'll use me as an example. I absolutely hate pop music. I detest it with a passion. I hate top 40 radio, all of that. I am much more of an underground college radio kind of guy. I grew up, and if you're familiar with me, you know the music I listen to, Susie, The Cure, New Orleans. I'm very much underground 80s music. That's what I like. I also like jazz. I like classical. I have a whole wide array of music. I keep up on pop stars because I am going to be talking to people and speaking with people who that may be their thing. And I want to be able to open a conversation and start to have a dialogue with them about things. And one of the best ways to do that is to be engaged with them on something that they like, that they have an interest in, all right? So, for example, if you don't like superhero movies, go see a freaking superhero movie. If you don't like horror, watch a horror movie. Whatever it is, read a different book, try different foods, whatever you may need, because that experience is going to go right into that toolbox, and you're going to need it at a separate date, all right? And as I used to tell my students back in the day is, you may, especially if you're working for consumers and clients, this comes up a lot if you're in a service industry. When I was doing design, if somebody called up and said, hey, we're looking for somebody that could do lay out a book for about Nina Simone. Well, if I didn't know who Nina Simone was, I didn't know what music she was, whatever it is, you are going to create product, you're going to create content that is not at all close to what the consumer wants or really kind of answers the brief, all right? Now, you may not like Nina Simone, you may, whatever it is, I don't know why you wouldn't, but you may not. Knowing who she is and what music and where to start looking to really understand your project will make it go deeper, all right? And I'm not saying you can't do a quick Google search and do a quick Wikipedia, but you need to, for something like that for music, you need to really experience it. You need to take it in, you need to listen to it, and you need to listen to it for more than 2 minutes, right? You need to listen to maybe a whole album and really understand what it is they're talking about. Maybe you get approached from a Thai restaurant, and if you've never had Thai food, you're not going to even know where to begin. It's going to kind of confuse you, and it's going to kind of get you in a place that you don't necessarily really want to be in, because you're kind of going to make content that isn't right. All right. Now, As far as sales and marketing is concerned for the self-employed is you want to be able to have conversations with a wide variety of people, all right? Your consumers, while they are a lot like you, your core market and your ideal consumers, they do have some things that are different from you. You know, we're not all the same. So if you want to, and if you even want to discover new consumers, you're going to have to open doors. And one of the best ways to do that is talking to the consumer, all right? So for example, the other day I was talking to someone and they were really into hip hop. And I was like, okay, I know a little bit about that. We can start that conversation. I know some of the artists, I know some of the music. We can begin to have a conversation. And then as that conversation progresses, I can start to talk to them about my business, what I do, why they might be perfect for me. But I've opened the door, all right? If I knew nothing, if I just was kind of like, that's not my kind of music, I would have closed the door on that consumer and I could have potentially lost a future Betty, all right? That's what I'm saying, is you want to be able to strike up conversations with people at the drop of a hat. You don't have to be an expert on it. You do not have to be an expert on it, but you at least have to have a passing knowledge so that you can talk to consumers about things that are interesting to them, engage with them, and then you can kind of start to build the process, the sales process. Once you've opened that door, then you will start to find things that you both agree on, that you really, really like. And maybe with somebody showing you, maybe you're gonna start to like things like jazz or hip hop or Thai food. Who knows, all right? But it's a great way to start talking to people. And that's really what your toolbox is, all right? All the skills that we learn, everything that we do in all of the videos in the units, those also go in the toolbox so that we can pull them out at a moment's notice. But the most important thing is having new experiences so that you can talk to consumers in a way that engages them. Because honestly, it's really all about them, isn't it?